You know, the Dzogchen teachings are very subtle, you know, and I'm sure you found this same thing, you know. It's like, you know, you think you understand something, oh, I got it, you know, and then it goes even deeper. Um, and that's happened to me, which is what I'm going to share uh, this morning, um, particularly about meditation. I think I'm kind of all over the place there. Hold on a minute, let me see. Bring this down a bit. No, up a bit. That's better. Okay. Right. So, they have this word for a meditation session in Tibetan, and it's called a thun. Thun. So, usually what people understand, you know, like when a person says, well, I did 10 minutes of meditation, I did 5 hours of meditation, whatever it is, that usually when a person says that, it's basically the time between they sat down and the time they got up. Or in our case, the time between the bell rings first and the bell rings the second time. But that's actually not what a thun is. What a thun is the time between being at rest and doing something. That's what a thun is. Being at rest. And then coming out of that and doing something. So that is actually what meditation is, you know, is being at rest. That's what meditation is. It's nothing fancy. Being at rest. So, what do we mean by being at rest? What does that mean? Just even ordinarily. How would you know you're at rest? How would you know you're resting? One thing I can guarantee is that you wouldn't be doing anything. So when we're at rest, when we're resting, we're just letting things be. We're not doing anything, you know. And what's quite interesting is like with resting, you know, you don't have to have a calm state of mind to rest, because it's not about how you feel. It's just rest. Usually we think, you know, that meditation is about obtaining a pleasant state, you know, a state of calm, clarity. I'll talk a little bit about this in the chat afterwards. Such states are very easily disturbed. But when you are deliberately resting, not so easy to disturb. So even when a dog is barking, or there's a TV on in the background, or whatever. Hold on a minute, I forgot to mute participants. So, resting, you see, it doesn't really matter what's going on around you, you know. You could rest in the middle of a construction site. So, resting is not about how you feel. It's just rest. It's so simple. So, when we practice, what happens? You rest, right? It's you know, am I resting properly? Well, if you're not doing anything, you're doing a good job, right? so, so you rest, and then your habit kicks in, Your habit kicks in, and you're distracted. That's one ton. That's one meditation session. Then you notice, and you deliberately rest. It's very important, this. You deliberately rest. You take a decision to rest. Not to do, to rest. Then you get distracted again. That's your second tone. And so in between the two bells ringing, you could actually have lots of meditation sessions. So, you rest. That's it. You rest, you let be, you stop doing. When you get caught, you deliberately rest again. Deliberate rest. Letting be. Doesn't matter what's happening in your mind. You just stop doing. I don't have to do anything. I just let my mind be whatever it is. Just resting. Every time you interrupt me, I'm just going back to doing nothing, to resting, breathing, hearing, resting. sometimes peace comes, but it doesn't matter. You're just resting. You're not trying to be peaceful. You're not holding on to pleasant experiences. Just resting, breathing. Everything settles, but it doesn't matter. We're just resting. We're not trying to make things settle. We're just resting. If they don't settle, it's fine. We're just resting.
Martin, could I please ask you, how do you deliberately rest?
It's like a decision you take. So you take this decision that says, right now, I'm on a break. You see, right now, I'm not going to do anything. You know, if somebody sends me a text on the phone, I look at it later. You see. Does that help more?
Yes. So you're not deliberately resting your mind, just kind of just resting your body. Is that it? Yeah.
Well, it's both. You see, you're not forcing rest upon your mind. You see, do you know? It's not that you're forcing your mind to be restful or peaceful. You're not doing that. You're simply allowing everything to be. You're allowing. I'm going to talk about this some more in the chat afterwards. You're simply allowing everything to be without doing anything. That's what rest is, when you don't do anything. So like that, like I can see what happens, right? It happens to me that you're there, you know. Your mind is active, you know. Your mind is saying all kinds of things, you know. But your attitude is, I'll read the text later. I'll deal with that another time. At the moment, I'm just on a break. I'm resting. So I'm going to say, let me, I look at the time and I say, right, people need to do things.